Hi everybody, Lich Starfighter here, and today we're going to look at 5 things you need to know about LightNoFire. And as always, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell to get all of the latest updates from the channel. Number 1. The Races of LightNoFire. Thanks to the LightNoFire wiki linked in the description, we have a list of all of the known races for LightNoFire. Now, it should be said that some of these we've seen as playable races and others we've seen mostly as just NPCs. We still don't have any confirmation of the actual playable races for players. But here is the list of all known races in LightNoFire. Humans, elves, giants, skeletons, some sort of horned humanoid, badgers, bears, foxes, frogs, otters, pigs, and rabbits or hares. That is the full list of known races in the LightNoFire universe so far. Number 2, the weapons in LightNoFire. 3 different classes of weapons have been identified through the trailer. The first is a bow and arrow for ranged combat. Next is a staff. We don't know what exactly the staff will do, but I anticipate it will be similar to the staff in No Man's Sky, where it essentially works as a multi-tool and perhaps also as a weapon. And the third class of weapons is a sword or a sword and shield. What's interesting is in the trailer, at some point we saw what looks like a man wielding a fire sword, which either indicates these swords can temporarily take on attributes of elements or perhaps be enhanced or enchanted in some way through game mechanics and crafting. Either way, these are the options for weapons in LightNoFire as we know them. Number 3. Transportation in LightNoFire. From different sources like the trailer and the Steam page, you can see that LightNoFire has a few different options when it comes to traversing this new universe and world. The first is the option of boats, and this was first discovered on the Steam page, but it looks like your character can use boats to traverse the world over the oceans and look over the horizon into perhaps maybe storms that creep out over the ocean waves. Next, obviously, if you watched the trailer, you saw that there were 2 different types of flying mounts displayed. The first was a dragon, and it looks like there are many different types of dragons. Most likely the variations will be similar to the spaceships in No Man's Sky, where in different regions and different areas of the world you may get different types of dragons or colors of dragons or dragons with specific features. And the same thing with the other flying mount we saw, which was a giant bird. Looks like so far we've seen 2 different options. We'll see if more will make it into the release or in later updates. It also needs to be said that in the trailer we saw that players will have an option of a glider much similar to that seen in Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it looks like if you're up on a high surface, you'll be able to use these gliders to try and get across the world, maybe hilltop to hilltop. We'll see what other features may be available with those gliders, but at this point that looks like all of the transportation for No Man's Sky that we know of so far. Number 4 is a bit of a mystery at this point. In the trailer we saw that there were shipwrecks underwater, and that allows players to explore different maybe caches of cargo, maybe rare items inside these shipwrecks. What would be exciting and seems really interesting to me is finding things like relics or ancient artifacts from an ancient civilization in these shipwrecks, maybe being transported by traders and the ship being lost at sea, maybe adding in some story elements to the lore within Light No Fire. So as we find these rare items or elements, we uncover more truths about the world and get a more in-depth idea of what this world is all about and what this ship was doing with this particular item. And that brings us to number 5. Well, if this is a video about HelloGames and a new game they're developing, we certainly have to mention their procedural generation engine and all of the differing landscapes that they are capable of creating. Not only that, but the biomes within those landscapes that support the player's experience. Here are the list of the known biomes from Light No Fire. The first is the underwater aquatic biome that we saw, that includes things like the shipwrecks that we mentioned earlier. We also saw some desert biomes where vegetation is sparse, and we saw in the trailer forests and woodlands underneath a mountaintop, which implies that just like in No Man's Sky, there will be clusters of trees and perhaps large forests that we'll encounter throughout this world. We also saw frozen tundra, and just like in No Man's Sky, this area was cold, covered in snow, and had icy vistas within its view. And finally, we saw grasslands and rocky and mountainous areas. So plains full of grass that was beautiful, that would go into the horizon, as well as all of those mountains that we saw within the trailer, with flying mounts flying in between different mountaintops and ranges. And that's it. Those are the 5 things you need to know about Light No Fire. As more news is released and information is provided from HelloGames and the press, I'll keep you updated so we can all learn more as more news unfolds about this upcoming game. As always, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. I'm just getting started out, so having your support and subscribing to my channel is really helpful. Any of your feedback I really appreciate. Thanks guys, and have a good day.